Hello, my dear friends. This is Rabbi Aharon Dobinsky coming to you today from the holy city of Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, Israel. I had an epiphany this week and I want to share it with you. Now, it's an epiphany in my mind because it was one of those aha moments. And I thought about it, and the more I thought about it, the more sense it made. Now, you may not agree, or you may agree, and either one is perfectly good. It's your right to decide what you believe in. But I want to tell you something. There was a song. I love songs, as you could probably tell. This one goes way back, probably the 60s, I guess. And there's a line that says, I got the fever, you got the cure. Why is this important? Why does this need to know? Because I think that's exactly what Hashem does with us. First, he gives us a fever, then he gives us a cure. Why does he do it that way? Because he wants us to recognize it comes from him. He wants us to recognize that we owe a debt of gratitude for the things we have. He also wants us to ask for the things we need. Let's give you an example. Summer is hot here in Israel. It's hot in Chicago, it's hot in New York, there's a lot of places where it's hot. Okay, very hot, 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 hot. You're walking on the street, you're so hot and so sweaty and so uncomfortable, it's so miserable. You say, I can't stand this. I wish it was cooler. And then surely as the words are coming out of your mouth, you walk into an office building, you walk into your home, you walk into somebody else's home, you walk inside someplace, and the air conditioning is on. And immediately, not 15 minutes from now, not a week from now, but immediately, you get relief for that. As a matter of fact, there's a phenomenon like that here in Israel. As you're walking on the streets and it's very hot, and you stop underneath a shade tree in Jerusalem, you'll feel like you're in an air-conditioned room. The wind starts blowing on you, and you feel instant relief. You see, what we do is we're uncomfortable. And even if we don't say the words, which we should really say, Hashem, I'm so miserable. What can you do to help me? Or please do something to help me. Even though we may not say the words, it's up here. You think Hashem can read what's in your mind? Of course he can read what's in your mind. He put it there. He knows what goes in there. He knows what comes out of there. So these are the things that are important. Notice also in the winter when it's so cold outside, your fingers are freezing. And so you're miserable, you're cold, as they say, chilled to the bone. And as soon as you go into a building, as soon as you go into an apartment, as soon as you go in most places, you get instant relief. You have heat. And you thank you, Hashem. Well, we don't always say it that way, but we should, because that's who it comes from. Remember our beginning premise. Everything that is, was, or ever will be comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It all has purpose, and that purpose always, even if we don't see it immediately at the moment, that purpose is for our ultimate best. So when it's cold, it's our ultimate best to get warmer. When it's hot, it's our ultimate best to get cooler. There are things like this all the time. I tell you these simple things because they're easy to understand. Now let's take it a step further. People come to me all the time and go, Rabbi, I don't know what to do. I am so miserable. Why is Hashem treating me so badly? Why is he being so mean to me? Why? The whys can go on forever and ever and ever. Let me tell you the reason why, if you haven't figured it out already. The reason why is he wants you to ask his help. He wants you to ask his help. If it's a deal you're trying to make, if it's a home you're trying to buy, if it's any one of thousands of things that has just got you so perplexed you can't do anything, perhaps you should read the Rambam's book, Guide to the Perplexed. It's got some answers in it for you. But I'm going to give you the easy one today, the soft one, the one that you can live with every day, to know that when things are not going well in your life, you need something to change. And sometimes that change has to come from you or me or whoever it is that needs the change. Sometimes if we need a change in the way things are, it's because we did something that we shouldn't have done, or we didn't do something that we should have done. Now's a great time to go back and start, if we do Hitbodedut, every day we do Hitbodedut, and we say, we thank Hashem for everything he gives us. We apologize for all the wrong we've done. And we enumerate these things out loud to him. And then we ask for whatever we want to ask for, spiritually, physically, etc. But that's the thing. That's what works. That's why we do it. That's why it keeps being put out there for you to learn about. Because if you do this, you'll find a closer connection to Hashem. And that closer connection will get you to the point where you understand that everything comes from him. The air conditioning comes from him? Yes, the air conditioning comes from him. Where do you think the air conditioning came from? Some guy that invented it. As a matter of fact, the guy who actually invented air conditioning was a guy named Walter Chrysler. If the name sounds familiar, it's because he also invented Chryslers, cars, Dodge, and the other cars that are in the Chrysler Corporation package. He's the guy. He invented it. So you say, well, it didn't come from Hashem then. It came from Walter Chrysler. Okay, let's go back and do some remedial work on this one. Where did Walter Chrysler get it? It was what? It was an idea. It was a thought. Where did it come from? What do you think? Just buzzing around out there, and one walked by and he said, "Oh, there's a good one," and he grabs it. No. Thoughts come from Hashem too. Everything comes from Hashem. Even our thoughts, even our projects, even the things we want to work on, they all come from Him. He gives us the means. Remember we talked last week about the fact that we have free will. And if you're in a car and you're backed up and you know that you need to get someplace quickly, but you think about the fact that you could go to the right here, go to the left there, go around and miss all this garbage and get there on time, you would do that. That's your free will. You may also stay behind all the cars, assuming that they will, in fact, start moving the way you want them to move. That part is yours. But the thought about how to have a resolution to this problem, which is a little bit more palatable to you, that comes from Him. Whether we use it or not is up to us. He doesn't tell us you have to do this. He says, here's something else you ought to think about. And you think about it, and then you make a decision. Should I go down Spruce, turn right, turn left, turn right, turn left, and come around? Or should I just stay here knowing that in a few minutes, whatever the problem is will alleviate itself and I can go straight? That call, my friend, is yours. That's where your free will comes in. So let's start using our free will in a more, what's the word I want to use here? More proactive way. Let's use it in a proactive way. When things are going bad, something is at least apparently things are going bad. Sometimes things aren't really going bad. They're going and making things difficult for you to take you to a decision that's going to be better for you. For example, my situation when I made Aliyah 10 years ago. I was in Miami and Hashem took everything away from me. Took my business, took my home, took my car, took my money, took everything I had. Basically saying, if you want to stay here, you can stay here, but what would you want to do that for? Because you have nothing here. Why don't you go to Israel? And that's what I chose. And it was a wise choice. It was the best choice of my life. Living in Israel, there's nothing better than this, particularly for a Jew. So this is why I came here. But I had free will. I could have stayed in Miami. I could have stayed there and cried about the fact that I don't have my turbo anymore. I'm riding a bus instead. I don't have this. I don't have that. I could have been miserable. Would have been my choice, but I could have done that. But Hashem gave me an out. He gave me another way. And I chose it. And it worked out very good for me. Think about this in things that are perplexing to you as well. When something is not working the way you want it to work, the chances are something in your life needs correcting. It's a great time for self-evaluation. Remember, and then when you do the when you talk to Hashem every day, personal prayer, when you do that every day, it gives you a chance to do an accounting for yourself. What did I do wrong? Or what didn't I do that I should have done right? This is your accounting. And now, if you do that every day, you're going to have a pretty good idea what are the things that need to be changed for your life to change again. And then you make the corrections, and Hashem says, perfect. This is what I was hoping for. I wanted you to do that. Now, I can let you have the money you have coming in. Now, I can let you feel better again. Now, I can correct any one of a myriad of problems that you have because you have corrected what was holding you back. And it was up to me to show you what that was without saying, hey, do this. It's holding you back. You have to figure it out. I'll give you the hints. I'll even tell you where you need to go. But you have to make the thing. You see, everything we do is a partnership with Hashem. Everything. When He made man, He made him out of the dust of the earth, and He blew into his nostrils. If there were no nostrils to blow into, there would be no man. There's always something that we have to do part of, and He will do part of. And He's very, very generous to do things for us that we don't necessarily deserve, maybe even at the right time. And a lot of times, a lot of things don't happen to us when we want it to because that's not the right time. It's not the best time. We don't know that. He knows that. He knows when it's the best time, and He'll make things happen the way they're supposed to happen. So my friends, Do yourselves a favor. Do the world a favor. Work on the things that need to be changed in your life. The things that are holding you back. All the things that will make you have a complete transformation. All the things that will give you a personal redemption. So you can help others get their personal redemption, which leads to the final redemption in the coming of the third Beit HaMikdash. B'mher Yomeinu, my friends. Have a great Shabbos and a great week ahead. Remember, you're never alone out there. You're not alone. You're never alone. He's always there with you. And he's always there to help you. You just have to ask. And then when he does help, always remember to say thank you. Be well. God bless. All the best.